Yo, it's Jazzy Jazz with Lee Bailey's EURWeb.com Spotlight. I'm chopping it up with one of the queens of hip hop, original queens. I'm talking Yo Yo. You can catch her on Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion. Let's go, let's go. Yo, it's Jazzy Jazz with Lee Bailey's EURWeb.com Spotlight. And now you cannot talk about female rappers without shouting out this queen, okay? She been keeping it real and thorough since the 90s, for real. Right. Rocking with legends, Tupac, Ice Cube, and she's a legend herself. I am talking the one and only Y-O, don't you play me out.
Don't try to play me out. Right. I helped them become legends. I was a part of the legend. I was a part of the journey of for the pursuit of legendness.
Exactly. I'm so excited to have you here, Miss Yolanda Whitaker.
Yes.
Repping South Central,
LA,
the best of the West.
The best of the West. And that means we're universal. That means they couldn't tag us.
So thank you for joining me. Really, it's such an honor to have you here, because
you have so much.
You have contributed so much to the game, for real. Yes. So in fact, let me just start there because, I think about like your rap, your rhymes. They were sassy, they were gangster, they were sexy.
Yeah.
And you look back at it, you know what I'm saying?
And still looking back at it.
Look back, and you could shake it, but you were like, yo, don't touch this.
Don't touch the booty because it's kind of soft, and if you do, you live it in a coffin.
Ooh, yes. And you talked about being an intelligent Black woman. I mean, you said, I'm not a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you kept it at a certain level, which I think was so amazing in terms of our dignity as Black queens and Black women. And now we got all these female rappers that are running the game. Saweetie, Cardi, Megan, City Girls.
Yeah, and I wish I could have embodied that. The beauty of having these young queens grace the stage now, which differs from what we were doing when we were coming up, is, I grew up with a mother, I don't know if you heard Mama Don't Take No Mess, but I grew up with a mother who would slap your ass silly, and like you saw, I don't know if you watched Love and Hip Hop, but Yandy's husband, when he tried to speak on his mom, mothers have, we've guarded our parents, we've guarded our legacy, we've guarded a lot of things that, we all have stories to tell. But when we were coming up, we had to not only protect ourselves, but we had to protect the legacy. We had to protect our family, what our family were going through and what our families were dealing with. And so coming up as Yo-Yo, as a young artist, of course, I came out with Ice Cube, and then we're saying, well, NWA, we're saying a bitch is a bitch, I ain't the one. We had a lot. So, I was one of those girls like Queen Latifah, who you calling a bitch?
Oh, no.
They was writing that, who you calling a bitch? I was in the studio with Cube, and I was like, I'm going to be out in a minute. Stuff right now, I was in the middle of working on my stuff, but that's that energy that they brought was the energy we were all feeling.
Right, but here's the thing. I mean, I love my sisters today that are in the game, but how do you feel about the lyrics in the sense that, does it always got to be about a wet coochie? I mean, it's good to own your sexuality, but always
And that's just something we have to talk about because, when we think about hip hop and we think about women gaining a spot, earning their spot, I should say. When you think about it all, some of them feel like if you're going to use me, I might as well use myself. It doesn't have all about about your sexuality, but I've watched the changes in hip hop come about so long. You know, when you think about 3 decades of hip hop, and not just, you know, being about it sometimes, but I've been about it all the time. I've worked with the community. I've worked
Yes,
with
you
the
have.
kids. I've tried to give the kids in my school challenges, like, we're not going to talk about gang banging. We're not going to talk about money. You know, what else can we talk about? You know, and what I've realized is you get it how you live it. And so what I've tried to learn how to do in this music industry is to learn how to keep myself vocal, to make sure that I have a voice so that women hear my voice, so that they understand that there are avenues there. You know, like they say, there's levels to this shit. There really are levels to it. And my level might not make it to your level, because I came in it, like I said when I started this conversation, it came in where we were more so worried about what other people thought. This generation don't give a rat's ass what nobody
But they do in a different way. They might not, you know what I'm saying? They do. But you know, you were in season 6 of Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood. And I know you're in some of the iterations of Love and Hip Hop that are coming up and getting ready to drop. So look out for Yo-Yo. But what I loved about it was that it focused on your school, Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop. And you gave so much to this youngins. Tell me about the school. What's popping with that?
Well, the School of Hip Hop, of course, like everybody else, we have been quarantined, and we had to put our school on hold. But what I haven't stopped doing, and what has allowed me to do more of since this quarantine, is really be involved, really look at my DMs, really check my messages, really listen to people's lyrics, really give them my insight. Being at home for almost a year and a half really gave me a chance to give some honest opinions. Before, I think just going, I got a little caught up in and trying to say the right thing. Now that I get a chance to really listen to it, I'm like, I like it. But, you know, and a lot of people tend, because they see me know Love and Hip Hop, they tend to send me stuff like, oh, this is more conscious. I'm a conscious artist. You know, I don't mind you throwing your ass in the air. I don't mind big jingles. I don't mind any of that. What I've learned as an artist, and what I've learned that they want to see as an industry, is they want to see somebody who is their authentic self. So if you can embody yourself and spit that out, I will enjoy the music much more than I will enjoy the lyrics. And so I try my best not to get too caught up in the lyrics.
I feel
although if you hear a lot of pussy, dick, I'm
you're like, do I have to hear it one more time? Right. But you know, I think that is so dope though, that you are inspiring people to put out some woke lyrics, because we need our female Kendrick Lamar, but in her own right, and Cole and so on and so forth, you know, that are spitting some woke lyrics at the same time.
You don't want as a person pretending to be something that they're not, you know, and they're at that age with the artists that we're looking for. They're young, they're inspiring, they're trying to get their music out. You know, there's a lot of things on the table. You have to pick what you want to talk about on the table. I mean, you got a beautiful body, talk about it. If you can put it in a way that other people can respect it, that's good. But if not, that's good too, because sorry about that.
That's all right. I see you chilling in the pool, making us all jealous.
You know what I mean? So at the same time, it's I'm sorry. Can you call Trisha and tell her I can't? I'm on Zoom. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. On my Zoom, and they're just going to keep calling me. I'm going to have to block them in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell her I'm on a Zoom, please? Yeah, but you know what I've learned, sis, to be totally honest, I've learned to give more information instead of criticizing, because I've grown up in a genre where women always are criticized. They always want to know what I think about women. These dudes out here doing whatever the hell they want to do. Ask me what I feel about them. I don't give a shit what these women doing, because guess what? They are not the women that's normally sitting at the dinner table. If they are, it's about one of them to a 10 group of men. So it doesn't
Hello, say less.
if I'm a legend in the game, and if I've come 32 years, I don't want them to be worried about what Yo-Yo got to think of me. No, I'm inspired by you, Queen. Keep on going. You know, hear my story too, because hopefully my story will help you.
Well, I think that's beautiful, the way you are bigging up the sisters, you know, no judgment. I am not mad at you. Now, you rode with Tupac back in the day. Y'all dated, you had a little romance, but you were also really close. But what happened on the romantic part? What happened? Why did that not keep going? Did he cheat? Like, what was going on?
No, we were in love. And we loved each other to the day he died. Pac became like a brother to me. Nothing really happened. We were just like, we were just two people on the road who found each other, who fell in love with each other, who we spent many nights on the road. Of course, you know, I spent half of my life on the road.
Yeah.
On the road. So meeting somebody who was just like me, hearing his stories, hearing that, you know, he wasn't perfect, nor was he trying to be. He was a young brother like me who didn't mind talking about his community. He spoke about his parents, stuff that people don't want to hear about, you know, and people don't want to talk about. People don't want to talk about their truth. That kind of love made me love him even more. So we were like brothers and sisters. Tupac let me into his life. He introduced me to his soul. He introduced me to his family. I met his aunties. I met his sister and her kids and his mother. And you know, I met.
Well, you gotta tell us one of your best Tupac stories.
One of my best Tupac stories.
Funny, whatever, sad.
Well, he would always sneak my sister out. I would never hang out. Cube had this rule. He didn't want us to really hang out too much on the road. So I would never really hang out too much on the road. But Tupac would always sneak my sister out. My sister Dawn would go out on the road with us, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and she'd be gone. And I call her. And I think we had beepers then. I'd beep her phone and I'd beep him and nobody would answer. And then I'd say, God damn, I told you, don't take my sister out. You know, like I'm responsible for her.
Right. But he was making sure she had a good time. And I think you told one story one time about a riot or something. What was that with Tupac?
Wait, was it when we got locked? We went to Mexico and they locked us in?
Yeah. What happened with that?
I think they locked us in. We went to Mexico for a show and they tried to kidnap us.
Oh no,
the riot. No, you're talking about the riot.
No, but they tried to kidnap you. What was up with that?
Oh, they locked us in. Wait, you talking about the riot at the prison?
Yes, I was talking about the riot at the prison. But how did you wait? We just gotta just hold up. How did you get out of Mexico being locked in? How did you do that?
Girl, I had just came from Germany. They locked all of our stuff in the room. My brother had to break us out.
What?
Break me out. They shot at the tour bus. We finally got out. The show never happened. They didn't have the money. They literally tried to hold us hostage in order to
OMG.
Locked me in the dressing room, and Tupac and my brother and them tried to get me out. And oh God,
how did you all finally get out?
They broke me out the room and we ran and they shot at the bus when we left.
Damn, girl, that sounds like a movie.
Rule number one, nobody, especially with a hooker's body.
Right, and then you went to, another time you go to the prison to perform and a riot breaks out. What was that?
So Pac wasn't there for that riot. Pac, his dad, Shakur, he was having artists come perform at was it Lompoc? It was a Lompoc prison, federal prison. And I don't know if that was, it was federal prison, Lompoc, where he was, and he was having artists come and perform. And so he told me to invite some of my friends. I invited the good girls, and a riot broke out. I mean, some guys got stage, started performing. I mean, all we heard was, "This is how you do it." This is Good. And next thing you know, it's a riot.
Oh my God.
It was the worst riot I've ever been in my life. I mean,
okay, now that's crazy. That is crazy. You got to make the movie of your life. You know this, right? No, okay. Now don't judge me. What'd you say?
The riot was the craziest ever.
What? Wow. So were you in danger at any time, or it was?
You know what? No, but I do remember a guy feeling on my booty, and I was like, "Come on, we're in a riot, really?"
He's like, "I know my priority, and that's that cute little booty you got, that big booty, right?" So don't judge me, but the ladies want to know.
Okay.
How was Tupac? How's the eggplant?
Oh God, nobody wants to know that. Who wants to
know that? Are you kidding? They want to live vicariously through you.
It was organic. Let's just say that.
Okay. You're like, girl, I can't believe you asked me that question, right?
Just let them know it wasn't from the farmer's market.
Ooh, okay. And rest in power, rest in peace, my brother Tupac.
He was strong in his life. Just know that.
So he talked to you a lot about his love of Jada. Like, what did you, I mean, was that his, do you think that was his true love? Jada?
No, I was.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But I know he chopped it up with you about Jada Pinkett, right?
No, I'm only joking. No, Tupac had a love for Jada. He had a love for women. He was a sweetheart. He was a Gemini.
Yeah.
He was a romantic person. I mean, anybody he dealt with, he loved. I mean, I think he was a genuine person. I think he might have had many loves that weren't even famous.
Right.
Everybody might feel the same way that I feel. I think he was just an authentic person. I think that he loved sincerely, and if he gave you a piece of him, you'd remember it. Yeah. You know, I don't think that he would give you a piece of him that you wouldn't be able to talk about.
Right, right.
You and I would be girlfriends. You know, he probably slept with some of my friends, who knows? But I still all love him. You know what I mean?
Right, right. He was generous.
And guess what? He was himself. And not a lot of people can be that way. And not a lot of people can be that way. I think he was his authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a couple last questions. You rode with him to the very end, even when he was, you know, in the hospital. You went to visit him, right? What are your what's your last memories of Pac?
That he was a rider to the end, that nobody could tell him nothing, that what he wanted was what he was going to get, and he had his mind made up. My last memories of Pac was he loved his sister unconditionally. He loved his family, that he was serious about getting it, not just for himself, but for his community, that he had a plan, and that his plan just wasn't for him, you know? And so, yeah, I think my memories of Pac was he didn't want to die. He didn't want to die alone.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
That he had a vision, like he was for Black Power, no, without question.
Yeah, and it's such a loss and a heartbreak for all of us. You know, he lives on forever through his music, but what a loss and a heartbreak. I would have loved to have seen how he evolved, you know. Rest in power, Pop. Yes. So couple other things, of course, Ice Cube, we got to ask about him. You got to give us a funny Ice Cube story. And it's so interesting because Ice Cube, you don't hear the shade about him like you do about, say, Dre or something, with Ice Cube and women, you know, and he's got
for a long time, and he's kind of had his priorities in check for a long time. And he's always, Cube was kind of, you know, he was just a nonsense kind of person. He really didn't deal with the nonsense. And even even today, like when we perform together, he'll say something to me like, just make sure you have your lyrics, you know, just make sure. You know, it's always like, he's so matter of fact. It's never like, hey, how you, he'll, hey, how you doing a little bit. But then after that, it's like, your lyrics, right? You got,
he's always been about his business, even when he was young, and he got a beautiful
don't
son
get out
just like him.
Much. Don't get out here and dance. Don't talk to people to death, and so.
So you got to give us a good Ice Cube story.
Well, this is an Ice Cube story, and this is what's his name? Not Kumo D. It's who was on stage with us? It was Too Short. It was Ice Cube. It was Big Daddy Kane.
Okay.
So we had it was somebody poured their champagne bucket of ice on one person for the show. It went out to the stage before they ended. It ended in Cube getting fined almost, I want to say $36,000 for a hotel water fight.
So did he throw the ice back?
Listen, let me tell you something. It was so gruel. Me and my girls was playing so many games. It got so rough that they was knocking on our doors. It started on stage. It ended in our hotel rooms. That's why the fines went up, because they started knocking on our doors. And when we opened up our door, everybody just was throwing trash cans, a bucket of water, and it was just crazy. So, like one of our big fun days with the biggest penalties.
What? That's hilarious. Well, you're not a MILF, you're a GILF. A GILF, a grandmother. I'd like to, the brothers would say, you got a beautiful grandbaby. You are rebranding and yourself and repositioning yourself. So I want to hear about what you got popping. And a lot of people don't remember how multi-skilled you are. I mean, like, you were Shanae's sidekick on Martin. You were in Boys in the Hood. You were on Grand Theft Auto, okay, back in 2004. So where are you going now? What's up for Yo-Yo?
Well, I just finished filming this Disney Plus movie. It's called Saturday, a TV show. It's series. It's called Saturdays. Hopefully we get it picked up from Disney Plus. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed with that. Yes. Of course, Hollywood. We just won our third Gracie Award for our third Gracie Award for Cafe Mocha Radio, which features myself.
Congratulations, yes.
Winning Lonnie Love, who you see on the reel, and our producer, Angelique. And let's see, I am still
wonderful.
Black College Expo, the National College Resource Foundation, where we were giving away millions of dollars in scholarships for students who want to attend college, especially.
Now, can you spill a little tea on what's going to be popping with Love and Hip Hop that's coming up on the family reunion or the show?
No, because it's there's no tea to give. Love and Hip Hop it's a secluded thing. We don't know anything until.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it really is. I mean, Love and Hip Hop. A lot of people always ask me, "Is it real?" I mean, do they create these fights? Is it real situations? I think the direction that Love and Hip Hop is going right now is because of all the things we've been watching. If you watched the family reunion part 1, you've seen them address a lot of issues with the Black Matter. You've seen them address a lot of issues with a lot of artists experiencing a lot of people in their community dying and how they're reacting to it. A lot of relationships with their families and their children, because a lot of these artists have been traveling and on the road. So you're seeing a lot of real stuff happen with Love and Hip Hop, which I'm happy to talk about because, of course, I've been in the real for a long time.
That's right. Yes, you have. You've been keeping it real and thorough since the 90s, girl. Like I said, yes. Well, before you go, because you always repping us women, and I love it, you spitting real stuff.
Yes.
Can you spit a few rhymes for us? I know you're in the pool, but...
I'm the Haagen-Dazs. They'd have been in Jerry's. What's your pedigree? Mine's is legendary. Hard work and dedication. TMT with no affiliation. West Coast is my association, but the whole world is my congregation. Preach. I see success in my reach. I gotta get back on my feet. Repping the respect on the east. Ready for war with the beast. Ain't no surrendering. Ain't no retreat. Killer. Murder the beat and get back to my Skrilla. Show me a chick who rilla.
I love it. I love it, girl. Well, I am excited for all that is in your future. Thank you so much for kicking it with us here on Spotlight. Love you madly. Enjoy that swim too.
Love. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Now, fam, don't forget to subscribe so I can keep bringing you these conversations. Let's go, let's go.